Fuck you.
Warning! This podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the ASOTVpodcast for iZombie Season 1, Episode 5, Flight of the Living Dead. I am your zombie host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Omikins.
Hi.
And my other co-host, Kim. Sorry, I had to. Had to break you guys before the show.
I was almost there. I was fine. I was just, you know what? I was holding it together.
No. What'd you guys think of this episode?
Everybody's a zombie.
Everybody's a zombie.
Literally. You know, I feel like an idiot. Like a really big idiot. I didn't piece together that her name was Liv More until this episode when they blatantly pointed it out.
Play on words.
Like, yeah, they've been calling her Liv, and I don't know. I looked at her name as Olivia Moore and didn't think very much of it. So I feel like an idiot. Apparently I'm alone in this. So.
Yes.
Adam.
Yeah, what'd you guys think about the case? We didn't see Blaine at all this episode, did we?
No, there was no Blaine.
Yeah.
It was
this big burly man servant.
things from what he's done,
Right.
Yeah.
but not him specifically.
Right. So, I don't know. What you guys think about the case? It was basically her friend. She had to eat her friend's brains.
She did it for science.
For
Um,
and kids don't drink and skydive.
it was, interesting. The case was actually not as exciting as all the rest of them so far.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of exciting tangents that came from it.
Right. It was a lot of the people involved in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The episode seemed to me more about, if that makes sense, like Liv and her stuff. And over all of the, so far what we've seen her eat, brain-wise and how she's changed, she seemed so much more happier. She
Right.
smiled a lot. She seemed to have a glow. That's what I got from that. And I thought that was really interesting, that it changed not only her, personality, but her outward appearance seemed to change a little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, partly because that girl was a ball of fire.
Mm.
But, I mean, yes, I did notice, like, at the very end, that's usually when it starts to wear off. She's still happy-go-lucky with the biggest grin on her face, rode off on a bike.
Mm.
So, hopefully this happiness sticks around for her. I mean, especially if she starts getting action.
Yeah.
Mm.
the new guy here.
The new guy. What was his name?
Lowell?
Lowell Tracy? Yeah.
Yes.
He's a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked his t-shirt. What was it, 20?
27 and dead.
Yeah.
Mm. I picked up something was off right away. I didn't think that was not what I didn't put that together till later.
He dyed his hair.
Well, yeah. But we saw that with Blaine, and we saw that with the other chick. I don't know.
Yeah.
But words apparently can't talk. I lost my train of thought. But no, when they very first met, you saw that there was some weird eye contact. And first, I chalked it up to, he was keeping a secret. If something was up, something happened. Mm-hmm. But, it kept being like this weird, you'd see a connection from the beginning between him and her.
I think he looked like he was suspicious at first because he knew what she was, and she was just like, okay, I'm the detective here, and he's looking at me weird. There's something up.
Yeah.
And then he starts hitting on her. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he's very adamant. And it wasn't until he started making the hot drink that I put two and two together.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the pepper going, I went, oh.
What? Yeah.
That was yep. Wow, okay, he's a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm curious now how he turned, right? We don't really have information yet. So
Well,
the why and the where.
I'm gonna, put this in kind of a stereotypical kind of deal. Drugs. He's a musician.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, though, because he seems to be the exact same as Liv. So if we go under the pretense with Blaine, right? He seemed to know nothing about the whole eating brains, absorbing their personality thing, right? He seemed shocked by that. However, Lowell knew exactly what she meant by that. So back to what we were talking about last week about the oversoul, undersoul that carried on from the comics. If they are going with that, then it also seems that Lowell has the over and undersoul as well.
But is his ability the same?
It seems.
It might be different. I mean,
he might have other powers, more to it than Liv does, but
it did seem interesting that you're right, that he knew exactly what, that direction. So obviously it's happening to him too.
Well, he did seem a lot more passionate than Liv did. Like, he was actively, like, pursuing this relationship. He's pursuing her. And, like, the things he was talking about, like, never being able to have human contact with the person and steal their covers and, the details and it's, like, those are not emotions that Liv is feeling normally. So, He either had just come fresh from eating brains or he's a bit different than Liv.
It was cute. That whole scene was so...
He might be... how she's emotionless. Maybe it's because she went through a depression and everything. Like, she was pretty much a bump on the log. Maybe he approached it differently. And
like you did say, he's a musician.
Yeah.
They have more of the rock star lifestyle where being single and, is whole part of that package. And Liv maybe just, she was not used to that. She was engaged and...
Yeah.
But it did seem like he was upset by the whole thing too. He also, obviously he has some compassion because he didn't want to get involved with someone in case he would change them. So
right.
He had that same thought process too. So that when he found someone that, because obviously that's where another question comes in. Now at first I thought, well, maybe obviously we know Blaine's doing more creating zombies anyway. But first I was like, oh, maybe this is one of Blaine's. But then the way it seems with where was I going with this? Apparently I'm scatterbrained tonight. Wow. I am awful.
Well, while you're on that tangent, we have a question from chat. Sappy Sapster wants to know if they do hook up, is it considered necrophilia if they're both dead?
No. 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 I mean, if you look at the definition, I'm pretty sure definition has a living thing intercourse with something that's dead. They're both dead.
Does she have a pulse?
I mean, they both have slight pulses because you can get some blood out of them from just, taking blood, and you have to have some sort of pulse for that. Otherwise,
they're
your
alive
blood
but not
is
alive.
Yeah.
I'm curious if their blood is already pre-coagulated.
Well, no, you saw when Ravi took her blood in the first episode that it was coming out of her arm, but slowly.
Well,
like I said, liquidy.
I said, I'm not a medical expert.
No, you're not.
Well, we knew that the heart, we slowed, so it's slower paced. So it's like she's dead.
It's like.
So I'm trying to. It goes back to the whole thought process is how we're deciding how the disease, if it's a disease or how it works, and all that stuff, and the complicated.
Yeah.
I know where I was going now, and the conversation that I was for was that I wonder now that if he was changed differently, not
like a Liv.
Yeah, more like Liv, because like he wasn't completely shocked that she was a zombie too. So that's where it becomes a little bit of a question. But he still seems like, oh, I'm not alone, and that's why he kind of like latched on to Liv.
Liv seems to be the first one that he's come across.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's aware of Blaine and all his antics.
Sneakiness.
Well, who's to know? Like, I mean, maybe he does know, because it would seem like the company that's supporting him, they seem to toss out drugs at parties like it was, candy at a parade. So, it's possible that there are a couple other people in that company that are in the same boat.
Boat? As in boat party?
Oh. See, if you get some more detail... Oh, wow, because we have no idea about the boat party, really. Well, that brought a whole another thought process in my head.
I just took some flint and steel and right under B, and she's like, "Oh, ideas!"
Yeah,
yeah, it really was. I mean, because we don't know anything about the boat party. We don't know who made it. We don't know all we know is shit happened and zombies happened. That's all we know when it comes to the party.
For those of you lost, Kim's nickname is B. But yeah, we set this bee on fire.
Nice.
Yeah, but then it seems like so while they're exploring the case, right? They're looking into the case, and Liv goes to visit Babinaw at the office, and he's getting flack from his superior, and that's when we find out that his commanding off what was he? Was he the sergeant?
I think he's like he's his boss. If it is maybe a sergeant man. Over. I don't know if he's over just the homicide or if
I think he's just the head of homicide.
I think so too.
Yeah, we find out later on at the end of the episode that he is a zombie. And he, like, looking back on it, he was very interested in Liv. Like, who are you? When?
Oh, he did.
How long have you been working here? Like as soon as he bumped into her. And that was before we were, like, conspicuous of him. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't like him, but we weren't really like, oh, something's up with him. And then later on, we saw him trimming his nails, and then after that, we saw him with the hot sauce in his coffee.
And food is porn?
Yeah.
Food is porn. Actually, you know what? That's legit for even normal people, so...
Yeah, so he seems more like the kind that Blaine would have set up to get people in, like, a position of power. So... I feel like he's trying to, like, systematically weave these people in that have important roles so he can control aspects of society. Because we saw he's got the cook in the, that place last episode.
The butcher, yeah.
The butcher, yeah. And then he's got a bunch of, like, blacky goons that are, off doing things. They're expendable people. And also that guy we saw at the skate park with the red shoes or whatever, he seems like, one of Blaine's lackeys as well.
I wonder if that's the reason why they were having trouble getting them to investigate the disappearances.
Oh, 100%. I think at this point that's where they're feeding off of. They're taking these kids, people they think are not gonna notice that are missing, and now, especially Blaine's got the guy in homicide.
Yeah,
or
and he's
missing
always
persons,
like,
I should say.
If it's not on the board in red, then it doesn't matter. It's not your problem.
I don't care if Mama Babineau showed up dead. If her name's not in red, you're not investigating it.
That was a pretty asshole.
He's a
asshole. Like, you're a jerk. I don't like you.
I liked him.
You're a joke.
I liked him. I always like all the dicks, though.
But see, then there's another thing is he also was dyeing his hair and changing, and it's like all of these other people they're like hiding it.
I didn't mean it that way.
What?
He's talking to me.
What happened? What just went over my head?
I said I always like all the dicks, and then I go not that way. But yeah.
Wow, I'm the one not being dirty.
Yeah, that's surprising. I figured you're going to be the first one to point out the fuzzy handcuffs in the desk drawer.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I've noticed now, since you've put me on that frame of mind, every episode I'm looking to see where the sexual references are. Because they're all over the place.
They really are all over the place. And if they're not, we can pit them in places. We can totally just tank them up.
Oh, yeah.
No, but they, like, legit seed them in here.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because not only that, but did you see there was, like, 4 packs of condoms in there? You know, with them? So.
There were condoms, and then there was the fuzzy handcuffs, which I don't know why you'd use bright blue handcuffs, but okay. But...
What do you want, pink?
No. But it was like, they were like baby blue.
You're more of the leopard print, right?
What are they called again? I don't even I'll get into that.
I think she's more or less telling us she's not into cuffs, she's into actual ropes.
Oh.
She's not denying it.
It does not get into me.
I know whose nightstand I'm not opening.
Oh, jeez. What we got? Oh, where was I?
we were talking
about 50 Shades of Grey. Oh no, I mean iZombie.
iZombie, that's the one.
Zombie.
You know what? There are plenty shades of zombie because everybody's getting special bronzing tans.
I mean,
except for Liv.
I forgot to get my bronzing tan. I probably should do that. I should work on my bronzing tan.
Which made me wonder. See, that's where it keeps like me, like the whole back to blame. But I guess being, obviously the having more money, that would make sense. And like, okay, so he's gonna hide himself. But what the hell did you just do? You turned yourself more red than you are.
No, you need a fake one. Make yourself as orange as possible.
Yeah, bright orange.
Orange is the new black.
Hey. Yes.
I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah.
Yes.
But like the lieutenant dude or whatever, or what the hell? Like, where is he getting the money to do all the bronzing and the obviously hair dye isn't that expensive?
He's probably placed, and he's being paid by Blaine because
so that
Blaine...
would make sense why he can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where it comes into question. So that's why it's like, okay, so that makes sense why, okay, so that's why you're bronzing and changing, your hair to color because you have more money. But, so maybe that's still the question. I'm like, I want to know how he became a zombie. That's the bottom line. When are we gonna find?
Blaine paid him, or he decided that, oh hey, we got a bunch of this utopium in the back here, and maybe I should give this a try.
But not him. But I mean, I can't think of his name now.
Oh, Lowell.
Wow.
Like, they probably gave him utopium at one of those crazy parties under their company, and
yeah, because don't forget, it's part of the drug ring operation, so it probably extended past the boat party.
What if he was at the boat party too?
Was he?
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe he might not.
This is definitely not the last we've seen of him.
No.
Sure.
Oh no, definitely not. So he looks like he's going to be somewhat of maybe a romance option here a little bit. Maybe
you know what? He's gonna start out as a romance thing, and then she's gonna find out something really bad, and she's gonna be sad.
Yeah, like he wants to hook up with Major instead.
Wait. Okay.
No, I'm not letting that happen.
This is my. She's like, no. But no, my brain was. I immediately, the moment we saw, okay, so the incident, where he gets punched in the face and he's all bloodied and messed up. Then we saw a body bag at the end of the movie, end of the show. I literally was going, oh my god, don't be Major. Don't be Major, please. And I thought it was going to end with her opening the bag and seeing it. That's where I thought it was going to happen. And it didn't, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
So we don't know who's in the body bag.
He definitely saw a big manly man go zombie mode and give him a good few punches to the face. And I'm pretty sure he's going to connect the dots because zombie manly guy was white as a ghost, which so is Olivia.
Yeah.
But his hair was dyed.
I mean, in terms of, like, Liv's personalities and stuff, to me, pun totally intended, it seems like they're eating through, like, their options really quickly. Like, how many different... Because it's like, they've done the villain, the killer already. They've done, like, a ninja monk, whatever, already. They've done a really emotional guy. They've done an artist. So, like, you go and do, like, a musician, it's not too far off from an artist. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. But now this episode we see her doing a friend of hers, somebody she knew. So it's like, how many variations are we going to be able to have that are going to seem extremely different from each other?
No two people are the same.
Exactly, that's where I was going to go in that. Is that
Right, but I mean, people can be close enough.
Yeah, but I mean, she lives. Where do they live? Where is it again? What's the city? I don't even remember.
I don't know, actually.
It's a place with buildings.
lots of people.
Seattle.
Lots of people. Seattle.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, even in any big, large
Yeah.
city or anything, you're gonna get any different variations of people and different. And just because, so this person's like this or this, this person was a sorority sister. Not every sorority sister is gonna be the same. Not everyone's gonna be like crazy. And just because she picks up one trait from this person doesn't mean it could be a totally different trait and it's
Right.
different. There's possibilities. Now, how well and how far they'll play with it is the question.
I feel like they're going to go through their big stereotypes first, than anything. Like, for example, the trucker, and then she could be sitting there craving chewing tobacco, and, it's like, I don't know, but, like...
And we got a killer. We didn't get a serial killer.
That's
Well,
true.
he was a bounty hunter. He killed for money, so he thought differently. A killer can kill for many, many things.
Yeah, there's different. I mean, let's just for instance, she gets someone that's more like,
Dexter.
Dexter, exactly.
From Dexter's lab, right?
Yes. She gets a child that has curly red hair.
What if she does end up with a kid?
Oh, no.
Now, I know as horrible as it is.
No, that's definitely a possibility that they could go
Stay
in.
away from it
is.
for a while. I mean, because it is kind of a taboo. But
It seems
route they
like the
could
show
go.
is, at this moment, though, it seems like the show is a little too light and campy for that. If the show gets a little darker later on, I 100% expect it. But a show like this is going to start out light and campy and then maybe get darker in subsequent seasons. So this show, I can almost guarantee at this point, is getting season 2. The ratings have actually been really good for the show.
I have a feeling that a lot of that has to do with the placement of where it is.
Right, and they intentionally placed it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sexual predator.
they actually moved Supernatural to fit this show in the time slot.
No, don't do that. No,
It was
stop
just
it.
a thought. I'm just saying.
No, that's a horrible thought.
Hey, I was going there. I was gonna go there. It popped in my head. You never know.
No, this show is gonna get dark, and you can tell just from Blaine doing all his things. And I mean, I can't wait until they start dipping into the other sides of the supernatural stuff, because we know from the comics it's not just zombies.
Right.
So
There's ghosts, there's vampires, there's werewolves, there's weredogs. Like,
I want the were-terrier.
yes. So I really want to see that. I don't think we're gonna touch in that until season 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that either.
Because this is how many episodes this show? This is only 10.
Yeah.
13?
We're starting to see
13?
that mid-season really trying to
13, yeah.
go into her and what's going on with her life and her stuff that's going on in the background. We're getting more of, of horrible things that Blaine's doing. Without Blaine in it, we're just seeing, the aftermath. So we're going to start, I think, as we're getting into that, the last episodes, we're going to start diving more into, her, and we don't know what's going on with Major. Oh my god, if they turn him into a zombie.
Major, what if Major starts getting super jealous of Lowell?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, that is a possibility now that
'Cause we've
he's
seen
being
it.
cock-blocked.
Yeah, we've seen it on Liv's side, which, what's happening when Major's got the girl staying the night and Liv going nuts. But, it seems like to me that, the playoff that they could do between Major and Ravi, Dr. Ravi, they're supposedly living together, and we haven't seen anything come out of that yet.
No, I mean, throwing a couple new zombies at us really does take precedence. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't even like do anything to remind us that they were living together. They could have had like a piece of dialogue, just stated something along the line.
Awkward friendship was the only thing that we got from when they were, because that was the only thing that really like transferred from the other episodes. Because she was trying to be friends with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Major's pretty busy. He wants to find these kids.
Just got punched in the face.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happened. Like I said, I'm still he still could end up in that body bag.
Yeah.
And still end up being a zombie.
I don't think they're gonna kill him off or turn him into a zombie. I think they're gonna the altercation of him finding out that Liv is a zombie and that zombies exist is gonna happen first. And the whole, him accept or not is gonna be a huge issue with her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we know Major is off looking for the kid,
right?
And he got in that big fight. What if he got scratched or something during that altercation?
It's very possible.
That's where my brain went. Was that, and that's when the body bag showed up, and I went.
Because I mean, he doesn't have to be dead though.
No.
If he got scratched, he could just be a zombie. That doesn't mean he's gonna be dead.
Remember, they put Liv in a body bag at first too.
Well, she was kind of underwater, and she came up and all the water that was in her body. So, I mean, he just got scratched. Maybe he might, in like 3 months, turn into a zombie.
Yeah, we don't even know how quick the process is.
No.
True, we don't.
Especially if you're still alive when you get scratched.
We do know that it happened pretty quickly for Blaine's girlfriend, but they had, like, extreme physical contact.
They exchanged juices.
Yeah, I remember it's exchange of juices.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Talk about STD.
That was the worst. Oh.
That is pretty much the worst STD you could catch.
Yeah.
I'm awful.
Maybe. Debatable. But...
I'm awful. What's up?
So, I mean, if Major got scratched or something and he's a zombie, and the location that he's in, it wouldn't be too far from Blaine's territory.
Wouldn't be no.
Oh, what if so he turns into a zombie and then Blaine recruits him?
I don't think. I mean, Major seems like one of those people where he would see the wrong, and he'd be like, "No."
But it doesn't mean Blaine could manipulate him.
Yeah, I don't think Major's the kind to be manipulated like that. Liv certainly wasn't. So
no, yeah.
No, he seems pretty. I mean, he's doing noble things. Like, not many people will go out of their way to look for a missing, child that doesn't have a home, as most people would see as delinquent. But he's out there, and he's looking. I think it would take a lot. He'd probably have to be, like, life or death in order for that kind of manipulation to take care.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he doesn't turn into a zombie, and I hope that he just, ends up in a hospital or something, and you have to live, going through crap.
Yeah, I mean, if... I don't remember what I was going to say now. If something with Major, if he's turned... Then, because him and Lowell will really be fighting for Liv's affection at that point. And we'll start this TV show trope of the love triangle. Every TV show's got one. So.
You know what? At that point, just bring in the were-dog and drop the guys. I don't want to deal with that shit.
I want the dog, but the dude.
Yeah.
Even if they're attractive, we don't care. Bring in the dog.
It's one of those things you just gotta do. No matter what. To save yourself some sanity.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm curious how all this is going to play out. Overall, the case itself didn't have very much impact on Liv. It was the people she was investigating that had to do with the case. I mean, the skydiving thing, and I really got some funny humor out of them calling the dead person all different types of food on stick, from corn dog to shish kebab and everything in between. And I thought that was extremely funny, except for all the people that were walking around in very close proximity in the background. There's no way they didn't overhear that and had to be like, what the fuck is going on?
Or what about when she asked, so who would you eat out of all these people? That was all.
Yeah.
Alright.
Who did she ask that to again?
Dr. Ravi.
Dr. Ravi, yeah. She just turned to him and she's like, who would you eat? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no one.
Yeah. Like, no. And then he used YOLO, and I was like,
He.
Yeah. So, outside of that, you ladies have anything else you'd like to discuss before we talk about next week?
I don't know. Blaine's got his dirty fingers in everything, and that's starting to really worry me, because...
obviously there's more zombies than we expected.
Oh,
There
and
yeah.
they're people that we
There
never
is a zombie around every corner and every shadow.
I'm curious how far his reach is stretched, if it goes to, like, judges and, you know, police officers, and, you know, how deep is this seated at this point?
That's, yeah, considering, I mean, wow. We're just like, oh wow, everyone's a zombie, and now everyone's gonna be like, I'm gonna sit sitting there like every episode now and be like,
You're a zombie? You're a zombie? No. I think Blaine's not thinking it through. If he's the one really spreading this out, he's not really thinking it through, because it seems like zombies are popping up everywhere.
I'm waiting.
Humans are their food source. So if you make too many zombies, you're not going to have enough humans to feed the zombies.
Yeah.
And then zombies die.
he might be thinking through.
I'm waiting for them to pull a fast one on us and have, like, a human sitting there with hot sauce and pouring it all over everything, and we're like, oh, that's a zombie, and then it's not, you know, so... Because
it's just someone who likes hot sauce.
There's people like me that just like spicy things, that, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a zombie. Anyway, next episode is called Virtual Reality Bites. Not B-Y-T-E-S. B-I-T-E-S. Shall we play a game? Liv, Clive, and Ravi work together to investigate a murder of a computer hacker. Liv inherits intense agoraphobia. Agoraphobia. Yeah, that's a word. After consuming his brains, along with mad skills at computer gaming. This delights Ravi, who urges her to play and offers to help her from inside the game as they continue to search for the killer. Meanwhile, Blaine becomes acquainted with someone close to Liv. Major. And, yeah, that's it. So agoraphobia,
the fear of places and situations that might cause panic, helplessness, and or embarrassment.
They can't leave their house.
So, yeah, they just don't like to leave the house.
Yeah, so she's definitely going to want to stay in and play those games all day.
She's going to want to have those cheese puffs handy. She's going to play Diablo with Major and Ravi. And with the blackout curtains.
Probably.
I would rather
the three
do
of them
that.
will be fighting over the PlayStation.
Of course, you don't know what's going on with Major still.
No.
And apparently there's something, Blaine's got his sticky fingers and things again.
Are they sticky or are they just dirty?
Well, considering he's swapping juices, I'm going to bet they're pretty sticky.
And dirty at the same time. Ugh.
So I think that about wraps up our show. Omi, where can the people find your sticky, dirty fingers?
I don't have sticky. Blaine has sticky
Oh.
fingers. You can find me on Twitter with very clean fingers. See? They're clean. On Twitter, LadyVenom24, LadyVenom 24.
B, where can the people find your sticky, dirty fingers?
I'm sticky. I'll keep you the dirty. Anyway, Damn. Also on Twitter, at HuffanyPuffany, HUFFIGY, Don't look at me like that. I do what I want. And I heard a cat.
Yeah. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do 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 do
Do do do do. You can also find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, virtual reality bites.
Sappy, why are you a zombie?
I think my cat's a zombie. Michaela, are you a zombie?
No!